Hey everyone, it's Seth Rudetsky here on SiriusXM on Seth Speaks with the new star of Sweeney Todd, Ms. Sutton Foster. Okay, it's actually Joe Locke. Hi, Joe.
Hi.
How long have you been in the States?
I've been here since January.
You know, you can drop the phony accent. You can just be American now because we don't buy it.
Sorry.
Thanks. Joe feels as Tobias. He's one of those method actors. Has to always have a British accent.
Yeah.
We don't buy it, dear.
Well, yeah. Everyone else in Sweeney's doing that too, or they're not because their accents are great.
Actually, that was my question. You know, it's very stressful to do a British accent in a show with somebody British. Are you constantly just having to hold your eye rolls?
Actually, maybe I've got used to them, or maybe they've all got better. But from the time I first watched the show, their accents are all across the board much better.
Wait a minute. You just began 2 weeks ago. So literally over the last 2 weeks?
I watched it in November for the first time.
And they were just like, attend the tale, Sweeney Todd. And you were like, no. It's okay. Let me ask you something. Why, like, when I watched Homeland, I could not believe that whatever redhead face was British. Why do British people have the most amazing American accents? Except for I'm going to tell you when. But why do they have the most amazing accents?
I know the exact reason because the dialect coach told me this. The British accent is less work, so the American accent is more work. It's always easier to make your mouth do more than do less.
It is?
So American people struggle with British accent because it's trying to train your mouth to do less work. Whereas it's easier to like do more, like move your mouth more than move it less.
A, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
B, did you talk to anybody in the revival of Merrily 8 years ago? Because I've never heard worse American accents, except for my friend Jenna Russell. But did you see that revival?
I didn't, no.
Holy cannoli. It was like, it's a cowboy accent? I don't know what was happening. But the point is, you Brits, you always like blow my mind. Like, and what's his name? Matthew James Thomas, who was in Pippin. When I met him in real life, he's like, hello, bloke. I'm like, what? Like, you guys is it because you watch nonstop American TV?
I think that's part of it. I think a lot of the media we consume is American, so it helps. But I don't know.
Are you just loving that you don't, like, you get to Broadway and you don't have to put on an American accent?
It's great. I mean, I have to do a Cockney accent, which I still also am not great at a Cockney accent.
Please.
So.
Everyone does a Cockney accent.
I could do a Newcastle accent and no one would in the audience would know any difference. So.
Okay, by the way, I don't know the difference because
I actually can't do a Newcastle accent, so that's good that
I will tell you the weirdest accent I did. Maybe you remember this because you're from UK. I did a show in the UK called, oh my God, wait, School Musical, where like they did, like a small school did a musical and then I went to the West End. So they did Hairspray the first year and they did Grease the second year.
Oh, cute.
And I went to Manchester. Wassley? Is that
Wolseley?
Wolseley.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was like the American coach. And then we went to the West End. But the point is, the Manchester accent, have you ever heard it? And have you ever recovered from it?
Yeah. I mean, do you mean Wolseley's near Birmingham? Do you mean a Brummie accent? From Birmingham, like this.
No, that just sounds like my tough gym teacher. No, it was like I landed in Manchester, England. No, I'm sorry, I landed in Liverpool.
Liverpool, a Scouse accent, like that.
It was someone loving, add me a blue. I was like, oh, it hurts. So my question is, where did you grow up with all my accent obsession?
I grew up in the Isle of Man, which is an island.
I know the Isle of Man.
Yeah.
Don't you want to know why I know it? Hello.
Sandbox.
Because I don't know why I'm turning back to myself, but I'm obsessed and I know it. I was the Playboy reporter for I Do Anything, which was
Sandbox. Yeah.
And literally they had like a Sam Day, right?
They did. They changed the name to Isle of Sam. I remember that. I was like 3 or 4.
Okay. Is the rudest thing I've ever heard. I just told you that I had a job as an adult, and you said remembered you were 3. You mean it was 3 or 4 years ago? I'm going to go with that.
It was 2008, so I was 4 or 5.
Okay, Joe, can I end the interview early, or is that just rude?
That's just rude.
Okay. Okay, so Joe Locke, I have 1,000 things. So people don't know. They're like, wait, why is Joe Locke on Broadway? Because he's this amazing TV star from. It's pronounced Altstoppers, right?
Yeah, exactly that.
So from Altstoppers, from the TV show. And I heard Tobias, so go back for a second. Are you one of those, like, my whole life I've always wanted to do a musical, or are you Pamela Sue Anderson, like, I never thought I could sing?
No, I have always wanted to do a musical. That's what I grew up doing, musicals on the Isle of Sam. And
hilarious.
I always wanted to follow in Sam Box's footsteps. I always looked up to her. And
by the way, when he says Sam Bonks, he means Samantha Banks. Some wonks, okay, because it's so, you've got to do more with your mouth that you're in America.
Sorry, I will do more with
Samantha
my mouth.
Banks.
Box.
Okay, so wait, what were the shows that you did as a wee lad?
I did Oliver.
Who were you, dear?
I was Oliver.
How dare you? I was the milkmaid.
Oh, that's a great part.
It's featured. First of all, I was gender fluid, I guess. Second of all, I'm featured at 8 measures in Act 2. It is not a great part.
You get the really great notes, though.
I do. Will you buy any bill? I belted it. I have to say, Oliver's kind of the boring part. Would you rather be the Artful Dodger?
I liked being Oliver because when the way we did it in the song Oliver, I got lifted up and thrown around, and it was great fun.
When it's more during that.
Yeah. And I just loved the guy who was playing the Alpha Dodger when I did it was a really good friend of mine, and we just had a great time. And I think that was, although it was like amateur, like over the summer, it was what made me fall in love with theatre. And then since then I did loads of like, the Alaman's got a really gorgeous theatre. It's like a Victorian built theatre that they.
Is that what you did, Oliver?
That's what we did. It's like 800 seats, and for such a tiny place, it would always like sell out. It's got a really great theatre community.
I love that.
And so many talented people that I'd seen so many of them go to London, go to drama school, and then end up having to come home because London's so expensive and they hadn't made it. But I always wanted to do it, but never thought it would happen, and now here I am.
Well, first of all, it's just a great message for community theater and high school theater. It really makes a difference, and it's just so depressing that it's being cut all over the world. I love that it's what inspired you to do it. And I guess when you're in the Isle of Man, you're in the Isle of Sam, and how did you go from like, I'm playing Oliver to like starring in a TV show? Wasn't it like a crazy like nationwide casting call?
Yeah, they did an open call, so I didn't have an agent or anything. I just thought, I'll just put myself up for this, see what happens.
Was it on video or did you show up?
I sent a headshot and then did 3 self-tapes and then 3 different. It was just after COVID, so everything was on Zoom. So I did like 3 Zoom calls, and then I did an in-person one in London.
So every time you get a call back, were you like, oh my God, I'm going to get this? Or were you like, oh my God, I'm going to mess this up?
I never thought I'd get it. I think it was just like, oh, this is such a cool experience that I'm like getting to do this. It's fun. And
wow.
I think because I was so like not in the world of anything, I was just in school doing my A-levels, and like that was just. But then when it was like the in-person audition, like the last audition, I was like, no, okay, I'm gonna try and make sure I get this.
And then you effing did, and it's such a great show, and it's like, how great to be a pioneer, because to be an out gay guy and to play an out gay kid, well, I guess kind of out, but not really ish, in high school, and to, I feel like for people around the world to watch you and be inspired, like it's kind of everything you want art to be, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel very, very, very grateful to have been a part of it. It's an amazing show that I'm very proud of, and I met some of my best friends on it, so yeah, it's great.
It's so exciting. And now that you're living in New York, what's the difference between New York and London?
London.
That's how you say it. Yeah. Okay.
I always say that like New York's like a grittier London. Like it's New York. New York is London if with a little bit dirtier, a little bit like on edge, but everyone has a drive that I don't. Everyone's got a drive in London, but in New York, I feel like everyone's got a story they're telling, and they're going to do their thing, and they're going to get to their thing no matter what, which I love about the city.
I always found when I've done shows in London, like, and when I've talked to my British friends, like, you're not really allowed to be overly ambitious. You have to always like, kind of couch it. Whereas in New York, you're allowed to be ambitious. Do you see you've noticed that difference?
I mean, I've definitely noticed the difference in like, your crowds are way louder here, and everything's just a bit more American.
Sounds like an insult, but I'll take it. Okay, well, it definitely is more American in America. Excellent insight.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so now you get, first of all, Tobias, did you also do a self-tape? How'd you audition?
I had told my agent I really wanted to do a musical, and he was like, oh, that's so weird. I just got an email from the casting people at Sweeney, and then I went and did a session with Lack, because he was in London for the Hamilton tour.
Alex Lacamoire. We don't know who Lack is.
Alex Lacamoire. And
okay, excellent.
I was so nervous. It was like 10 a.m. on a Saturday. I had had a few drinks the night before, so I was like...
Aren't you like 15? How are you drinking?
The UK drinking age is 18. I've been drinking for years. Okay, everyone in the UK drinks from 15 anyway.
I'm not impressed. Second of all, you look 12. Keep going.
Thanks. That's youthful glow.
And you're supposed to say, and you look... Anyway, whatever.
And you look 23.
Okay. We're on the radio. Excellent. Face for radio. Keep going, Joe.
And then I did a session with Alex Lacamoire.
What would you have to sing?
I sang Not While I'm Around and Pirellis.
Oh, okay. Well, how was your A-flat? But in time. How was your A-flat?
They were doing it down a half step, and now they're doing it in the original key, so...
Oh, interesting. Wait, they have been doing it down a half step?
Yeah.
Ooh, so now they brought it up for you. Excellent.
Yeah, which is great, because I just want my voice is more comfortable, I'd say. And they agreed because they let me do it. So
what's your most favorite part about doing the show? I'm obsessed with God That's Good.
I love God That's Good. It's my favorite part.
Isn't it?
It's so much fun. It's just such a fun song. Although it's also the song that every show at least one thing has gone wrong. Because the start of the song is the same as the start of Pirelli's, just down a step. So it's down a step, different lyrics. And in my head, it's like, don't sing the E, sing the D, and also don't sing the Pirelli's lyrics. And at least once every show, I've got it wrong.
Wait a minute, by the way, I'm so impressed that, so you actually read music? You understand music?
Yeah, I can understand music. I had singing lessons as a kid. I had the most great, amazing singing teachers. So
Shout out to
Mandy Griffin.
Hello.
She's coming to watch Sweeney in a few months. I'm very excited.
And then, now what's it like? Speaking of Grease, I did Grease with Sutton a million years ago.
Wow.
Isn't she like the most fun person to hang out with?
So fun, so the best. I had a moment on stage the night we were doing Not While I'm Around. I was like, I am singing Not While I'm Around to Sutton Foster on Broadway. Like, this is the coolest thing ever. But she's just so wonderful. Her and Aaron together are just such an amazing pair.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see the show again. And I guess now the question is, so are you moving here permanently, and what's the next show?
No, I think I'll probably go home. I'd love to be here longer, but I think my friends and family in London are calling me.
In my day, we stayed in America.
But if anyone on Broadway would love to give me another job, then...
Like, what's your next... I mean, Bach is not really as exciting. I would say that obviously you could do Bach, but that's not as exciting as Tobias. Like, who would you want to do next?
I don't know. See, I'd love to be next to Normal, but Jack Wolf is incredible in that, and I wouldn't ever want to take his part.
Oh, the one that's good with Casey, the one that's going to London? Yeah, okay.
I'd love to do
a TV show.
Maybe, but again, Jack is so great, amazing in that part. I'd love to one day. My dream role is Whizzer and Falsettos.
Whizzer, okay, that's like in 40 years.
Yeah, although he's younger than.
Okay, girl, you could play Jason for like the next 10 years. Who's 13?
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Hey, well, Whizzer's his toy boy. I could play Whizzer in like 10 years.
Why would you not want to play Marvin? You actually have the whole Jufro going on, as we say in the business.
Because Whizzer's a better part.
No, Marvin's a better part. Wait a minute. Why is Whizzer a better part? Because games that I play?
No, I like the arc. I think he's like an interesting. They're both obviously like sort of tortured souls in a way, but I think Whizzer has more of a. I love playing damaged people, and Whizzer, I think. Well, they're both very damaged.
I was going to say, you don't think hitting your wife is damaged? Marvin's gig? Let's say they're both messed up. Maybe you could do the whole matinee as Whizzer, nighttime as...
Yeah. Well, my dream is to do one day, last 5 years, like a gay last 5 years, but you switch roles every show. So, like,
yes!
One show you do, like...
That's what they did with True West. They did that on Broadway. Wait, that's a great idea. Who would you want to play opposite you?
Ooh, that's a good... I haven't even thought about it.
It's got to be kind of like age appropriate.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, you're supposed to be the same age. So should we make it someone British? Because you and Morton's too old. Okay, who the hell?
I don't know. I have not thought about it. I've only ever thought about myself in this role. So
I'm not going to say you're a narcissist, but
it's fine.
It's unsaid. It's unsaid. Okay, so wait, before you go, Joel, so first of all, everyone has to go see Sweeney Todd on Broadway. I mean, it's such a star-studded, amazing cast, and Ruthie Ann's still in it, right?
Yeah, I love Ruthie so much. On my first day, she gave me like a welcome pack of like, here's the throat sweets I have, here's the best throat tea, here's what the soap I use to get all the blood and mud off my face.
She's a mom figure.
She is, and yeah, she's been so amazing and so wonderful.
When she won the Tony Award, I was like the correspondent for TV, and I was like, I don't know how it came up, but I was like, is your mother finally proud of you? Because she's Asian, and like, of course, your mother wanted her to be a dentist. So literally on Tony Award night, I called her mom on speakerphone, and I was like, are you finally proud? Should she not be a dentist? And she was like, it's fine. Like, it was so not what she wanted to hear. And my final thing is, every time I come to London and I do a show, I'm like, hello, Court Blimey. They're like, yeah, nice try, Dick Van Dyke. They always call me Dick Van Dyke. So what's with the meanness about Dick Van Dyke doing a bad Cockney accent?
That's just it. He's just a bad Cockney accent.
Okay, have you read his book, by the way?
I haven't.
Okay, he says, I was literally surrounded by British people instead of Mary Poppins. Why didn't one person say, adjust your accent?
Probably because he's Dick Van Dyke.
Okay, so instead he has to have 50 years of ridicule, and then I have to get it.
I didn't do it. I wasn't alive.
I don't know, Joe. What you should have said is, I don't know why they call you that, Seth. Your accent's amazing.
Well, your accent is amazing.
Okay, and that's why you're an actor on Broadway, because the acting was so real. I barely saw anything dead behind your eyes. Okay, everybody go see Joe Locke as Tobias in Sweeney Todd, and go watch his TV show. He's so amazing on it, and it's so important. It's such a great show. I congratulate you. Congratulations, Joe Locke. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to another